live, but we weren't. So I want
Okay.
to get this.
There we go.
I
We
think
live.
it says we live, so let me add this
Yes.
to the stream. Let me add this to the stream. Here we go. Some happy music.
Happiness. Here we go.
Okay, and I think that's us live. Hi, good evening, everyone. Everyone out there in the world of the internet. Welcome to the Monday night review show of the Arsenal Cape Town Official Supporters Club. We come to you on a confusing, evening. I'm joined tonight in the studio by my co-host for the evening, standing in for Miss Isaacs tonight is our chairperson, Warren van Schoor.
Good
Um,
evening.
as I see Alex's name that has baptized it correctly. Welcome to the End of the World show.
Oh my
Um,
word.
I was bracing for a tough evening of Arteta out, based on the result against Fulham yesterday. But then this morning, that news was superseded by some other news, and it's been a hectic day. Warren, how you doing, sir?
She was. I wish I could say happy. But it's like you said. We almost forgot about the game in its entirety when the news broke. It was. You kind of have to check your source of information. You need to triple check it. You need to see, is this real? Did it happen? Is it happening? And then you realize, okay, it is kind of happening. It's just so much. I mean, the world of football. I mean, it's people still trying to make sort of heads and tails of it. I mean, if the people actually within the club themselves, players and managers, have got no idea what's going on, it just shows you, the size of this, the statement that was released. But certainly, look, I mean, there's going to be, for the next couple of days and weeks and months and who knows, even years, this is going to be like top of the agenda. I mean, on everyone's
Yeah.
minds and lips for all football lovers and even sport. I mean, it's the biggest sport on the planet. So, yeah, my word, what a show we got in store for us tonight.
Okay. As Warren's opening monologue there suggested, we may not get to talk. We are planning to talk about the game against Fulham yesterday. We may not get
Let's
there at all,
just give everyone a
because
five. We give everyone a five in the game and move on with the play.
we move on from
Ratings.
there. So
We
okay,
give
so
them a
tonight
five.
to see, we have no idea what we're going to talk about. We have some idea. We have some idea of the topics. We don't know how much of the
Yeah.
other topics we're going to get in. So tonight we're going to be joined in the studio by panelists Ivan Bantich, Gareth Burroughs, and Charlie Kiewitt, all who find themselves in kind of a hot seat this evening. I think they all planned last night when we sent out the notice. Oh, we're going to talk about Fulham and how bad we were against Fulham. Um,
No
and
idea.
now
No
it's
idea.
because morally, it went from a footballing bankrupt team to a morally bankrupt team. So we should be, you should be in for a lively debate, because I am
Yeah.
not anti Super League. I just have to make this clear. I am not quite anti Super League yet, so I'm keen to see how many people will throw me with stuff this evening. But anyway, so we do plan to well, the plan is we'll talk about Fulham. We'll have a little quiz. We'll talk about position in the league at the moment. We'll talk about matches coming up and what yesterday's very disappointing result means. But obviously, there's going to be a little talk about the Super League. But for the meantime, let me welcome the panel on. Let's
Yeah.
get them warmed up for the evening. So let me just add some music there as well. I want to play the music again. No, let me just add the music again. That's the closest thing we have to a drum roll, guys.
Yeah, it's quite a catchy
Okay.
tune. Yeah.
It is quite catchy. I kind of like it. Alex said, "Is that actually a thing?" I don't know what this actually a thing means. There's a lot of debate happening in the
Oh my
conversation,
god,
in
I
the
can just
chat, in the
imagine.
chat.
I can just
Yeah.
imagine.
So, and we'll share as many of those as we can this evening. But we're in for a fun show. We won't talk about football. Someone has talked about football so far. Ronnie Oshman says, I'm so gutful of Arsenal's performance. I can only assume that Ronnie has not heard the news that broke this morning. So Ronnie is ready to talk football. We may not be. Okay, guys, how are you all this evening? Let's do it in alphabetical order. We've got Ivan. I'm going to go by first names. We've got Charlie and we've got Gareth. Charlie, it's up you first. You first. How are you doing? Charlie, are you there? Charlie, we can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
I think yeah.
There we go. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
No. I was just saying it's such a mixed day today with, the fire on the mountain and Spurs sacking their manager and this whole European Super League popping up, and we dealing with the same issues with our beloved club. I don't know what to make of it. I love how Alex positioned the show, the end of the world of football show. So sounds very appropriate.
Yeah,
but
I know.
I will say, Morgan, I will say that
that
on the whole European Soccer League thing, I'm kind of with you on this thing. I understand why people are against it. I understand it's going to kill English football. But being a Cape Town supporter, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. We have to have a Cape Town context to these things. So the Cape Town context, I think, is slightly different to those that are, living in the UK, support the club from there.
Yeah. No, I think you and I are going to be in the minority this evening.
Definitely.
Yeah. As you can see, yes, Ian has said there, and I've never seen Ian and his son Cheslin agree on anything except tonight for the first time. People, there we go. For the first time, they have agreed on something.
That's
Gareth,
not
how are you doing?
That's not a bad recommendation there. A minute's silence for Arsenal Football Club. I think that's long in the making. I reckon it's called the Emirates Stadium.
Yeah. I just have to ask, Gareth, why are you not wearing an Arsenal shirt this evening?
No, I refuse to wear it. I have no pride in the club. I feel absolutely disgusted. Just like Ian said, this is a club that has laid off how many people in the past year under the guise of COVID. They retrenched their mascot, right? Only to sell their soul to go play in the Super League to compete against teams like Juventus and Real Madrid when they couldn't even compete with Fulham yesterday. This just shows you what an absolute joke of a football club Arsenal is right now. And who is to blame for this? It's that parasite Stan Kroenke, because this is such an American thing. Super Leagues and World Series, you find this shit over in America when you have a city from Boston playing a city from New York and they call it a World Series. He needs to piss out of our football club.
Are you saying this is as bad as ice hockey, where two teams play each other every week and suddenly it's a world tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. It's such an American thing. They do not understand the footballing culture.
Yeah,
they actually do not understand what they are doing to football in England at the moment.
Okay.
Just a FYI, just a little edit to that. The guy that's been spearheading is the guy that was actually at our club, Ivan Gazidis, who actually comes from American football. He's been pushing for this long and hard. And that's why you get AC Milan on the table there. But sorry, Ivan, over to you.
Thank you.
Ivan, how are you doing? Ivan, you don't have to talk about the Super League yet if you don't want to. There's a fire.
No.
I am sad about the fire because
What else could we possibly talk about? I mean, God.
The library that I have enjoyed so often, it's a beautiful library, is gone. It's razed to the ground.
Absolutely.
And so
very,
we can talk about
sad.
that.
It's very, very sad. Very sad indeed. But I wish they had put some of that fire under the Arsenal's asses on Saturday, and try to ignite the team. It couldn't have done more damage than it did here in Cape Town. But it was, it's a sad day. I was out in the Strand on the weekend and, when this whole thing took off, and it was unbelievable to see that smoke drifting across the whole of the peninsula. And, obviously we were able to pick up on the news and that what was happening in that. But it was frightening, and, our hearts go out to all the people that are affected by this tragedy. It's huge, and it may get worse. Who knows? We just hope not.
Yeah. Okay.
But getting back to the Arsenal, I mean, this European League, I think I need to ask a question to those out there, and that is this league meant to be Arsenal and the rest of the teams pulling out of their individual federation leagues so that it forms a league of its own, standing on its own? Or is it meant to replace the championships, the Champions League? It's something that I haven't been able to clarify yet. So I don't know if anyone out there can actually verify for me.
Well, I mean, if you look at the statements released by like the Premier League and football associations, it's going to come to an head. This is just the beginning of what we're seeing here. So someone or something's going to have to give in here, meaning that, the Premier League has already said these clubs won't be allowed back into their own respective leagues if they do decide to go ahead with the Super League. So it's most likely not going to be both. Players are going to be banned from the national teams and all this type of thing. So it's not a case of them trying to coexist together. The 6 clubs from England are trying to sell it like that. That is all smooth and don't want to be working with UEFA and FIFA. But like you can see yourself from UEFA and from the Premier League, they're quite clearly adamant that there's going to be strong sanctions put against these clubs, and it's basically one v the other. So unfortunately, this is not going to be able to coexist together. So something's going to have to give you. It's going to come to a head. It's going to go to the courts. I don't see it living in the same world.
I must admit, Ivan, my sense is that there's a negotiation going on at the moment. There's a sort of a scrabble for power at the moment. I don't think it's going to be the end of the Premier League. Some people may well think so. I think it's just a bit of it's just territorial stuff going on at the moment. So we'll see. It was initially positioned as an alternate to the UEFA competitions, a midweek event. That's how the press release went. So I'm not too sure either, to be honest.
Well, it's not about, you guys just have to check the statements coming out from these associations. Not about being too sure.
The association.
They've actually come out and released a statement, so it's not even a debate. They've said
this is on Arsenal. This is on Arsenal. I read about this on Arsenal.
Sorry, Gareth. Warren, we are the panellists. Warren,
you're leading them down the wrong lane. You're leading them down the wrong lane. Go for it, Gareth.
I was just saying, I mean, I read about this as well on the Arsenal website. So it's not like this is being spewed out by the tabloids to make some money. This is on the Arsenal website that they are basically broken away. And everything's up in the air now because no one knows how the FA and UEFA are going to react.
Yeah. Look, I think just to answer Ivan's question, I mean, the positioning is that it will be basically a replacement of the current Champions League, right? So it would be, instead of Champions League, you'll play your midweek games in this European Super League, and then the idea is you still play your local weekend matches in your local league. Okay. But obviously, as Warren says, a lot of the local FAs are fighting against it, and they're proposing certain sanctions. So we'll see if that happens or not. But I think just this thing has popped up a couple of times.
Alex has also pointed.
There we go.
The Champions League. The clubs want to remain in the EPL. The issue is that the EPL will ban them if they won't be able
to coexist together.
Yeah. So it's a negotiation. At the moment, people are knocking heads, and at the moment, but it's not intended as a replacement of the Premier League. Certainly not intended that way. What happens, the fallout, that's still to be determined. But you wanted to say something, Charlie.
Yeah, no, I think just for me, it's this thing has popped up a couple of years. I mean, when Wenger mentioned a couple of years ago, there were votes. Clubs had the opportunity to participate. And I remember years ago, the vote came back as we're not willing to participate. And it popped up again. So it's going to happen eventually, right? So, and maybe sanctions, whatever, will push back on it. But eventually, is going to pop up because the reality of what we're watching, right? I mean, the fact that we are sitting in Cape Town supporting the Premier League means that this is no longer like just an English thing, right? It is a global brand, and that's ultimately what this European sort of drive is pushing towards. It is breaking away from UEFA's jurisdiction, where it is European based, and it is opening up the ability for the game to become like a global game. So you could theoretically end up watching a European Super League match in Japan or in America or in South Africa, whatever. So I mean that's the one thing that is a force behind it, and why the local FAs and whatever will push against it. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say.
I can't imagine playing in Japan on a Tuesday night and then being back at Stoke on a flippin' Thursday. I mean, on a Sunday afternoon. Crikey Moses.
My God, what are we talking about? So are we talking about the Europa Super League, or are we talking about like Xbox? Or are we talking about a TV game? What are we talking about then?
I think that essentially is what it's going to be. It's there are many problems with the way it's currently.
Are we talking about TV games here? My word.
Yeah, this is essentially a battle over authority and television money. Essentially, what it boils down to.
It's all about money. That's what it's about. That's the whole thing.
It's never not been about money, I would argue.
There's always been money in that, but it's about the limits to it, or what you're going into. Because now, a team as shit as Arsenal will be deemed good enough to be playing in this Europa Super League.
Exactly.
But I mean, we will be winning a tournament if we do ever win that thing. But we won't be winning it on merit because we simply do not belong there and we don't deserve to be there. But that is the ethos of sport that's coming. That you're taking out. You're taking the heart and soul out of the sport, football, the club. I mean, think about all those other clubs that are they're really dying now with COVID. This is just it'll be the final nail in the coffin. All those young talents that used to come through from the non-leagues and that we'd like to see even coming to our team, that'll just come to an end. The international football scene has already come to an end.
I don't understand how that happens. I think there's huge inequality in the game already. Those kids from those little clubs, they don't get through anyway. There is a huge class distinction in the world of professional football. And I'm not sure if this aggravates that.
They won't be able to get through. No, they won't be able to get through because they won't exist anymore. That's the problem. They won't exist anymore. That's the problem. Those clubs won't exist anymore. They won't even be a debate or an issue. That's the problem.
I want to play a video. I want to play a little video, but some of the thoughts we gathered today by some gooners, and so we're just going to play this quickly. And just let me see how it goes. Here we go.
Something.
Sorry.
Morning, guys. I don't normally do anything like this, but I thought I had to say something. This is
how long is this video?
Football. It's an attack on fans.
A few seconds.
It's an attack on clubs, history, tradition. It's absolutely disgusting. Points should be deducted. I don't care if it's Manchester United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona. I don't care what club you support. This cannot be allowed to take place. And at this time, you've got a global pandemic, people losing their jobs. Now all this is about is money. You apparently win 110 million if you win the Champions League. Numbers being touted to up to 300 million for this thing.
Okay, we are going to leave that there. I want to ask you guys a question because we're still supposed to host this, so we're supposed to ask questions. How does this explain to someone like you who doesn't think it does? How does this attack the traditions and the values of the Arsenal Football Club? Warren, you're not allowed to answer. You're the host.
Okay. I'll keep quiet.
Anybody up? Ivan, you told me you were a traditionalist. So
yeah, I'm a traditionalist. I think it's huge. I really don't think that this adds any value to football, let alone to, the individual clubs that are affected. I mean, once they break away, you might as well rename Arsenal whatever you like because you won't have that history. It's going to fall away. It'll become a totally new history with a new club, so to speak.
Exactly.
I don't like it. It's just not in my nature to go with something that's as radical as that. I mean, I even hate it when they start changing the laws of football. I'm such a traditionalist, But obviously, you do progress. But I don't know that this is progression for football.
Okay. I just want to play another video. Let me just find another one. Let me just find. Sorry, I just tried to get all the elements together here. Because I do want to. I'm going to put Ian's. Correct you. Where have I gone? Sorry, Ian, I just want to go to find Ian's video. Because I think everybody kind of knows Ian as well. Wait, no. Before I go to Ian, I want to play this little clip I have.
Club's history. Chasing the Yankee dollar. Unacceptable. Treating the fans, the ex-players, the heritage, and the values of our club like dirt. They can just fuck right off. I'm done with this club.
Okay. As always to the point.
Short and sweet and to the point. Yeah.
And brutally so. Yeah. Gareth, Ivan hasn't convinced me that this somehow attacks the traditions of the club. Traditions change, clubs change. There wasn't in 1955 when UEFA held its first European tournament. Not a single English club was included among the 16 clubs that appeared. When Arsenal played in that championship, in that European competition, don't you think there was already a discussion then as well about if you suddenly become European, you're taking away about Arsenal's English identity? Convince me and Charlie that this somehow robs us of the club's identity.
Well, I think the thing you've got to understand is if they are turning around and saying they're going to ban those clubs from the English game, and that you would then only have that new international competition, where's the history in that? I mean, that club that you've nurtured for the last 125, 130 years, whatever the case might be now, those values will be gone. You won't be able to relate back to it. No one in England is going to want to go and play for the club of Arsenal simply because as soon as they say, I'm joining Arsenal, they get banned from any local football as well. So I don't see how it's going to advance the merits of the club.
Warren, I'm going to ask you a question as well. I can see you itching there to answer something. But I'm going to ask Gareth. Gareth, do you really foresee a scenario where the likes of Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs will all be banned? Will not play the EPL? Yeah. The EPL denied 6 of its biggest names?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think necessarily a ban. I think what will happen is it will be forced relegation, as you've seen in other leagues in the past. When other scandals have hit, you only have to look at the match fixing scandal in Italy. And I think what can happen is teams could be relegated. Now you may think, back earlier in the season, we were talking about possible relegation. So let's not even say, we'll never get relegated. But I think that the FA will make a proper statement that this will not be allowed and teams will get relegated. And like Gary Neville said, they can even get stripped of their titles. Then what history will you have anyway? You'll be starting from scratch. And how's it going to be? Your titles are going to be at 0. What about all that's been built up? You're just going to yank that out of the way for a little bit of money.
Warren, do you agree with that? You foresee a scenario where the English Premier League will rob
I can't even believe he's discussing. Sorry, there's a lot of noise in the background now. Sorry.
There's some. Give me a second. Let me just quickly. Can everybody just mute themselves quickly? There we go.
Okay, that's better. Yeah.
Okay. Warren, do you really see a scenario because those 6 clubs are worth a lot of money simply in television rights. Forget everything else. I can't imagine. Surely, can we imagine the EPL dumping them in the championship and saying we'll go without your billions, the millions that you generate?
So, I don't think people are actually thinking this thing completely through in terms of the repercussions. And I'm talking about more the fans. So number one, I've heard from every Arsenal supporter how proud they are about the Invincibles. Well, kiss that thing goodbye. That never happened. Whether you think so or did, you got it on VHS. That didn't happen. The record FA Cups didn't happen. By the way, in case you think that you're paying a lot of money,
No. You're making
No,
this
hold
sound
on.
like George Orwell's 1984. They will simply erase
yeah,
that
it's
history.
fine. Yeah. So
Those
also
trophies
for
are
the
still gonna
fans,
be in
do
the cupboards.
people know that if they're paying for to watch football, whether they're streaming or whether they're paying Netflix, do you know that you're gonna have to pay what in America they call it pay-per-view? So you're gonna shit in your pants at the end of the month. How much you gonna
Listen
pay?
here. Anyone who
There'll be
pays
no
anyone
there'll
who
be
pays
no
DSTV knows what
um,
pay-per-view is.
there will be no undercover Russian secret website there.
Pay-per-view is just
Do
called
fans know
DSTV
that?
here.
Do
It's just called
fans know that?
DSTV here. Yeah.
And what's our club's motto? Can someone tell me what's our club's motto? Someone tell me. Please explain. What's our club's
Victory
motto?
through harmony. Victory through
Charlie,
Where's the harmony? Where's the harmony?
Charlie,
Someone
do you
explain
see
to me.
this?
Where
Do you
is
see
the
this
harmony?
as the end of the club?
I mean, we're talking about. I mean, see, we seriously talking about Arsenal playing someone else in Guatemala. Is that what I'm hearing here? Is my ears deceiving me? Is this for real? Am I in a conversation like that with other Arsenal supporters?
I cannot see the English the FA Football Association of England ever coming to that. They will. Yeah, there'll be
Why not?
a lot of
Why not?
negotiation.
Serie A.
What
Did you
happened
ever
to-
expect
what
Serie A
happened
without
to-
Juventus?
What
Charlie,
ever
it's
happened
not about
to
money anyway. Charlie's
what
going to talk
happened
now.
to
Why
financial
not
fair
Scotland
play?
without Rangers?
I have the
Charlie,
power
Rangers.
over the mute button. I have
Charlie
the
must
power over the
explain.
mute button.
Charlie must first explain financial fair play. What is financial fair play, and what happened to
We
it?
haven't had financial fair play. Charlie,
What
do
happened
you
to
see,
what
do
happened
you
to
see the
financial fair
doomsday
play?
scenario that the others are predicting here?
Yeah, no,
Charlie,
look, I
me
mean,
and I are going to be shunned from this after
yeah,
this.
no, it's all good. Look, these type of moves don't come without what's the word?
Tremors.
People, without people being like damaged and perceptions changed and whatever. So look at the reality is, and like I said, it may not happen this year, right? So obviously this is a very bold move by these clubs to make it happen, and there could be kickback. And I wouldn't be surprised if the FA get their way this time and the clubs decide not to go into it, but it's going to happen eventually. I think Arsenal probably at this stage are lucky to be included in there because of the previous year's success.
Terrible.
So I think
No argument there.
if we don't get in there now, we'll miss the boat, and it will be a Leicester, whoever else that that will make it in with the European superpowers and actually change like football to a new global level, because that's ultimately what the guys are talking about. It's creating a brand new global league of football, and we'll see. I don't think the FA will at this stage be able to deduct points, whatever, so they don't have a legal backing for it. It's like even playing the Champions League, like each club has a choice to participate in the Champions League or not, right? So what's being presented to these clubs is to join a different European league. So I think they have the right to choose whether they join that league or not. I mean, that's kind of like the legal standpoint. There'll be a legal battle around whether they can and cannot do that. But yeah, I just think for me, like from where I sit, man, guys, I mean, my perspective is like we've seen football in our local community like take a hit because we support a UK-based team, right? I mean, I'm talking about us as individuals. So our local football has suffered because of a global brand. And I certainly agree that the local football club in England are going to take a knock as a result. I'm not even disputing that they're going to suffer. So local lower leagues and all that stuff, the same way that we have suffered because there's not that attention based on the local structures. The English teams are going to feel the same way, but it's going to mean there's a new structure. It's going to mean there's new ways to position leagues, new ways for money to flow into development. And I mean, and obviously that is what the prize is, right? There's growth in that. There's opportunities for other nations. I mean, you spoke about these youngsters that don't get opportunities. I think these type of structures are going to open up pathways that don't exist at the moment. So yeah, that's
It's gonna open
my
up.
perspective.
It will open up
No,
pathways
that's not going to open up pathways for youngsters.
Open
Not for
pathways to
youngsters.
the
Hold on.
parks, yeah.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
No, hold
That's
on.
total bullshit. Jesus.
I don't think a European Super League is going to open up chances for youngsters because this is where you are going to sign those big money established players because you can afford to lure them away from the other clubs, and the youngsters are the ones that are going to get ushered out. So I definitely don't think this is going to benefit the youngsters one iota.
Gareth, how is that different from what's happening already with the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea and Bayern and all the top and Barcelona and Real Madrid have for the past decade or so simply eviscerated any competition through their buying policy. The likes of Sheffield United and Fulham are never going to have a chance to win the league simply because they don't have the financial muscle. That exists already. How does this change that?
What about Leicester? Leicester City won the league.
Leicester was an anomaly. Occasionally,
I was an anomaly.
There was Newcastle. There was Newcastle a couple of moons back. Leicester now.
Blackburn Rovers. No, it was Blackburn Rovers.
But look at who's won the Premier League for the past 32 years.
And then let's not forget last year. Liverpool won the league. So miracles happen.
Yes. And you saw their spending. They spent for years. How does this change who has the financial muscle to buy players and buy titles?
Yeah. Ivan wants to say something there. Ivan.
Okay. Yeah, Ivan, you want to say something?
No.
We can't hear you, Ivan.
I think you muted him. I think you muted him.
No, I didn't mute him.
There we go. I'm back.
I'm back. Muted that power.
The one thing that worries me is if they're talking about the amount of money being generated through this new league, where's that money going to come from? That money is going to come from competitions that are currently being run. So it means it's going to make the existing competition that much poorer, which means that's going to have a huge knock-on effect into the grassroots of all the countries that are affected by, this new league. I mean, if Champions League, I think Gareth, you said winners get 110 million pounds or something, and now they're talking about 300 million.
It was Paulo, the person whose video shared.
Yeah.
Paulo,
okay.
Yeah. But that money,
where's that money come from?
But isn't that money
it's got to come out of existing pool of money?
No. That money isn't that money being generated in the system already? But at the moment, it goes to organizations, and I want to show you a little something. It goes to organizations such as FIFA and UEFA, who are both not-for-profit organizations. This is from the UEFA annual report, where they describe themselves as and it's widely known that these are not-for-profit organizations who make an immense amount of money, often at the expense of clubs, or in the case of the World Cup, at the expense of nations, where countries foot the bill for the tournament and FIFA reap the benefits. Isn't that money in the system already? And isn't what these clubs are simply saying, we want to have control over the money and not an organization that has sort of a monopoly over...
No, the clubs are saying they want more money, Morgan, the clubs are saying the money we get, we got more from the Premier League. We just want more money.
Don't they deserve that money? Don't they deserve
I'm not saying that they deserve it or don't deserve it. I'm just saying that's what the clubs are setting the structure up for. They want more money. There is money, but they want more. That's the thing.
No, I fully understand. One of the arguments that I've read was that the clubs are saying, if we have a consistency of income, it allows us to develop ourselves and then trickle down. Trickle-down economics is the worst thing, to smaller clubs. But at the moment, there is no such arrangement with UEFA, who simply controls the European competitions and holds and gets very rich, even though it's a not-for-profit, who makes billions every year. Isn't that money in the system already? And shouldn't clubs have every right to have a fair share of it? Or shall we stop this conversation there and go talk about Fulham?
I think.
Let's talk about the mighty Fulham. Let's talk about the mighty Fulham. Let's go there.
Okay,
and this morning, we're getting into socialism versus capitalism here.
This morning, this was going to be the biggest news for the day.
This is actually bad news. You guys know that, eh? This is actually bad news. I wanted him to stay there so that I can remain shit.
Who do you think is going to go there now? Who's going to go there, Warren?
Well, they're a European Super League team now.
Sono said he's
They
going to
can
go
get
there.
whoever they want. They can get whoever they want. They're a Super League team.
Okay, let's just quickly go. Okay, just a quick recap. Let's talk about football for a few minutes, and not the money part of football. We drew yesterday. A lot of other teams. There's still a lot of games to be played this week because of the schedule this week. There's a lovely game after this, Leeds versus Liverpool, that I'm looking forward to. Yes, I have a soft spot for Leeds. I'm not leaving Arsenal.
I told you that's fine. You can support Leeds. Support them against that.
I've supported them for years. But again, there was an opportunity for us to take advantage of results like Everton and Spurs drawing, West Ham losing, which was kind of a big result. And we just haven't taken advantage of that. So we're still in ninth. We weren't going to change position, but now we're drifting further back again from the likes of
top 60, man. I thought we top 6. What is this? Ninth?
We are Super 12. We are top 12 team, Warren. A top 12.
Sorry. Oh, that's a tournament the Stormers won last year, the Super 12. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. For sure.
It's like having Shaun in the room again.
Mighty Arsenal.
Yeah. So we're falling behind again. We had a chance to sort of inch a little closer to the likes of Everton and Spurs, even Liverpool. But now, unfortunately, we've given the likes of Leeds and Villa a chance to catch up with us again because of yesterday's rather dismal result. So, Ivan, the starting lineup. Thoughts on the starting lineup yesterday?
Well, it leaves me flabbergasted today. I mean, I'm not a big fan of all this rotation business. I mean, these guys are super.
You like the same team and the same teams every week.
No, you can rotate, but you don't rotate 5 and 6 players every blinking game. There's no rhythm in the team. You know, there's just nothing there to encourage the guys to, on a week in and week out basis, to do better and better and better. Because every second game they're starting all over again with a different set of players. I mean, if you're going to rotate people, you rotate 1, maybe 2 players. But for heaven's sake, these guys are so fit and they get paid such a lot of money to play this game. Why the hell do they have to sit on the bench or not even be invited onto the bench? Get the bloody weekend off. You know, £100,000 to go and into London and go to the cinema or something. You know, that to me, that's nonsense. Anyway.
Charlie, who was your man of the match?
Wait, we have to talk about man of...
Hey, who was your man of the match? If you had to choose one.
If I had to, I'll probably go for Lacazette. Wow. I thought Lacazette, I don't know, he played all right, he did his job, but he got an injury. But I thought he led the line well. If I had to choose one, I mean, obviously we're disappointed with the result. But yeah.
What do you guys think about the goalkeeper? What do you guys think about the goalkeeper? I think he's quite...
I like the keeper. I like Matt Ryan. Yeah, I'm glad he got a start. He's one guy I'm happy with got a start. In terms of the rotation, I think if you just look at Lacazette's injury, you'll see maybe why a little bit of rotation is needed. On that, if you look at, at the end of the day, this is the squad that he's working with. You know, gone are the days when you can rest the Robbie Pires and bring on a Freddie Ljungberg. Those days are gone. Now you want to rest the Thomas Partey, all you've got in the cupboard is Mohamed Al Sideways. So, unfortunately, when you're looking at the team that he set up, you can have those 4 attackers on there, and that was lovely to see that the 4 of them did start. But look who was behind them, El Neni and Ceballos, and there wasn't a lot of balls. There was a picture taken, I think 11 minutes, just over 11 minutes. El Neni got the ball. There were 3 options in front of him, and with his first touch, he passed the ball backwards. He didn't take a touch and look up. With his first touch, he hooked it backwards. There were 3 options in front. Now that's not Mikel Arteta's fault. Okay. I'm talking now. Before I heard the European Super League, I'm still talking about my love for Arsenal. I'm still backing Arteta because that performance has got nothing to do with him. That performance has got everything to do with the shit squad that we have, and we need a clear out of some of these deadwood.
Okay.
Yeah, I think lots of truth in that.
Fabian says that the goalkeeper looks a bit short, looks like an Okyukan chip. from distance. I'm not sure how that applies. Charlie, the stats would I just want to go before I go back because I have to give a coffee voucher away. We haven't decided on the win yet, but we have to give a coffee voucher away.
Oh God, I got mine wrong.
Yeah, the stats suggest that we dominated that game. We had 70% of possession. We were sharp in our passing, very accurate passing. We had 18 shots at goal. I can't remember many of them, I must, to be honest. But yeah, what does the stats not tell us? We had 11 corners, which is a wasted set piece for Arsenal, I know, but yeah.
Look, I mean, for me, I don't know, like the thing I thought about the game now, like years gone by, you're playing against a team that's fighting to stay in the Premier League, and they're clearly not, I mean, just based on league position, the same level as you, right? So Arsenal before would have just on pure attitude, like come there and like wipe the floor with him. But I think in this game, just the general attitude wasn't on pitch, on point, man. You know, so I think Arteta sent the team out in the right type of thing, but their mindset wasn't that look here, this team is struggling, they're nervous, and Fulham played like that, right? They packed, they stayed, hang back, lots of chances, but we should have just like really forced the issue from the get-go. And then ultimately it's about taking your chances. I mean, you saw the other night against Slavia Prague. If you take your chances like the game of football, we're having a different conversation. And the one thing that like really that is like irks me at the moment is this offside rule when they draw the line. The moment they must draw that line, sorry, like really, like you just revert back to what the referee said. If you have to draw a line to see whether the guy's offside or not, like just like forget about it, like change the rule because that is killing the game.
I want to ask in that regard, Gareth. Arsene Wenger is trying to change that rule. They're going to test it somewhere in the Japanese league this season. But the rule is if at least a part of the body of the striker's body is onside, he is onside. Do you think that's time for a rule like that?
Yes, I actually wanted to say
You're
that.
You're still going to draw a line sometimes when you have to see whether his toe is onside. But that is the proposed change.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I don't know if you guys watch cricket. It will be something like umpire's call. You know, like if there's a part that's onside, I think it should be onside. I don't know if you guys watched AFTV after the Fulham game. Like DT, he said Saka's toe was offside. What sort of advantage is he gaining by his toe being offside? You know, I think he just summed it up perfectly. It's not like he was a full body length offside where you can be like full on.
There's no common sense in the rule anymore. That's the thing. There's no common sense.
You can score a goal with a toe. You can score a goal with a toe.
And also, the thing is, if anyone that's played football at any level will tell you that you gain no. Even a defender will say the striker is not gaining an advantage over him if his elbow is offside. You know.
Yeah, and another thing, when they checked the equaliser that Eddie scored, you remember a couple of games back we had one chalked off for a similar incident where Xhaka was in front of the keeper, but not in the eye line. But because he was offside, they chalked it off. And I thought they were going to chalk it off again. And then, VAR would have bottled it.
There's no consistency in this.
Ivan, you wanted to say
something? I think this, just going back to those stats, 18 shots and only 5 on target. Doesn't that tell us everything? I mean, there were 13 shots that had no chance of going in. 13 shots in 18 that had no chance of going in because they weren't on target. For heaven's sake, I mean, these guys are pros. They should be hitting the target all 18 shots. It floors me that the guys can be as inaccurate as what they are and not get shots on target. I know you can't have 18 out of 18, but still. I mean, I would like to see at least 12, maybe, 14 shots on target.
Another stat that also, sorry, you got this slide on now. Yeah, I just wanted to go again. The possession was like 70%, which is like when we normally play these teams in and around us. That's normally the case, but It's like you said, El Neni is we passing the ball where it's not hurting anyone, and
Yeah, exactly.
it's like there's a lot of sort of tippy tappy, but it's not in the areas where we can hurt the opposition. So the stats tells you yes, okay, 70-30, but then you like Morgan said earlier, you actually can't remember where does this the position and the shots come from. It's because it's been the centre back is passing to the other centre back into the keeper. So it's actually not hurting the opposition, and a team like Fulham is not going to. They'll be happy with that because you're just wasting more time. And the other thing, the thing that irks me the most is just our cheapest man, our attitude when we come to the games. We want to bloody Nancy around and take our time. Top teams don't do that. We want to talk top 6 and the Super Leagues and God, we just don't even have the right attitude against Fulham. We pitch up there, we want to Nancy around and take our time and expect the result will magically come down. You know, it's just bullshit. You know, it's just, I mean, and you know, again, who was our captain yesterday? Can someone tell me? Who was the captain on the field? I don't know. Who was it?
The right back. The right back.
Everybody's favorite player.
Jeepers. I mean,
I'm should have been left back in the damn changing room.
That's embarrassing. Yeah, this is how ironic is it, that we think that we come onto the field with a divine right to win, and then we also think we got a divine right to get into this Europa Super League nonsense. How ironic is that? How about that for irony?
You don't have to win the Super League. You automatically qualify each season, so you keep getting the money. So I'm just there's no merit. There's no merit in it.
Well, there you go.
I agree.
That is the whole debate: the merit versus performance. Are you okay qualifying for something, but not on merit, but just because the owners got money? Are you guys seriously okay with that?
Well, honestly, you and I are going to meet for coffee, and we're going to talk about.
You guys are like smiling there. You guys are seriously okay with it.
We're going to talk about what Wenger called financial doping. We'll talk about that.
I'm still waiting for financial fair play to kick in. I'm still waiting for that.
That's the problem. And that's the problem anyway. Nothing is going to change much. Okay,
well,
so just quickly, we have to give coffee away though. Everybody got it wrong. I just want to say
Warren van Schoor is the winner then. Warren is the winner. He said 1-all.
Only Jeremy got it right. And there are two names in the hat. I was gonna do a draw. We will do that in the next show. The only one who got it right was Jeremy. Everyone from Craig to Warren were all wrong to varying degrees.
We never learn our lesson. We never learn our lesson. Never.
We were all excited.
We never follow out for great performance with another great performance.
Check here. I mean, the stat of the season must be that we haven't won back-to-back games in the league since January. I mean, that tells the tale of our Premier League campaign, up and down.
We don't even know our strongest 11 team. We're the only team in the whole Premiership. Even Sheffield United, as shit as they are, they can name their strongest 11. We can't. If we 1, 2, 3, 4. If I ask the five of you to name me your strongest Arsenal team, you're all going to give me 5 different answers.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You know, guys, let's go back to the Invincibles. You can name those back four for every single game virtually in that season.
Exactly.
Same back four. And we didn't lose one single game because we had a consistent, solid foundation.
Yeah.
I mean, every week that we play now, we've got a different back four.
It's crazy. I can't understand it. You know, I've been a Pepe critic for how long? Morgan knows that. And then the one time the guy actually comes good, then we drop the guy. I'm like, what? I've waited a year and a half for this guy to come good, and like we don't see him for 2 months. I mean, what is going on here? This is crap. This is called a spade and not pussyfoot around it. This is shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we talk, Warren, should we have a quiz just to cool everyone down a bit?
I think we need Brannis here to cool us down here, pal. Let's go for the quiz. Why the hell not? I mean, we can have.
I decided to cause more anger. So I asked. So the questions are all about the titles that we've won and the points that we finished on. So
those are going to be the ones that's going to evaporate when we go into the Europa Super League. The ones that will
again, Warren, Again, Warren, it's not George Orwell's 1984. They can't remove it from the
It's all
history book.
disappearing. Charlie's wearing a 49 in the back of his sweater there. He's got a 49 on his back. You better burn that. That didn't happen.
Okay. Does anybody have a piece of pen and a
Okay,
piece of pen? A piece of paper and a pen.
No, hold on. I don't. Hold on.
I'll keep score.
Are you going to keep score? I thought you, okay. Yeah, no, let me keep score. Okay. Let me just put this up quickly.
I hope it's multiple choice.
Make it
It's
difficult,
always
Morgan.
going to be
Make it
multiple
difficult.
choice.
Make it
Multiple
difficult,
I
Morgan.
just need a
choice
pen.
is
I
just
just
a
need a
lot
pen.
more fun.
High grade, Morgan. High grade. Make it high grade, Morgan.
Ja, dan dink ek hy vyf nonsens.
Square root of Pythagoras. Square root of Pythagoras.
Okay. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Are you on your marks? Get it. Okay. So here's the first question. In 1999, it's not a Premier League question. I just want to tell half. Half keeps reminding me there was a time before Wenger and before Premier League. In 1999, Arsenal won their first league title for 18 years by the narrowest of margins. Who finished second to Arsenal that 1988-1989 first division season on the same points and goal difference, but lost the titles as Arsenal had scored more goals? The team who actually had conceded 8 goals less than Arsenal. So the options are, was it A, Liverpool, B, Nottingham Forest, or C, Norwich City?
What
Just for
about
the
D?
record, all those other
What about-
teams...
I can't see.
It's
were
up
in
for
the
grabs
top four.
now. Thomas!
Hey, yo.
Okay. So
I
who've
can't
we
see.
got
I
there?
can't see.
Ivan, can you put that a little closer to the screen?
Okay, Charlie's got an A.
Everyone's got
Yeah.
an A. Everybody clearly knows the history. So yes,
Come on,
it is
Thomas.
A.
Rocky
Everybody-
Rocastle, yeah.
Everybody clearly knows the Arsenal history. So yes, it was Liverpool. It was a close season that. Okay,
Yeah.
next question. Question number 2. What is the least amount, not amounts? I don't know where the grammar has gone, the host grammar has gone. What is the least amount of points Arsenal have ever amassed in the Premier League season? Was it 56? Was it 51? Or was it 58? And you can see the Super League is hurting people because we are getting answers like Barcelona beat Arsenal.
Charlie's got A.
and Real Madrid.
Okay.
So the Super League is going to hurt for a while. Okay, so we've got a C from
A, B,
Ivan,
and C.
an A from Charlie, and a B from Gareth. And the answer is B. Yes, it was 51.
Whoa!
Let me just give you a bit of context there. Oh, crikey. What am I doing? I just want to quickly bring this over
Don't give
here.
the answers, eh?
Yeah, that's why I'm worried about all the answers being given away here. Just for a bit of context, let's just see what's the context there. That was the 1994-95 season where the team was coached. I think that was only part of the season by a guy called Stuart Houston. We finished 12th, which is also the team's lowest Premier League finish. For the record, the team has finished on 56 points twice now. Once was obviously last year. Okay, so so now we go into I think
Question 3.
Gareth has the lead at the moment. We go into
Yeah.
question 3, the tiebreaker. Arsenal finished a lowly 10th in the Premier League season in 1992-93, but won both the FA Cup and the League Cup that season, beating the same team in both finals. Which team was that? Everybody seems to have that giggles, that annoying, knowing giggles. What? I don't even... Okay,
We'll see.
4 bonus points. 4 bonus points. You guys will each get a chance to give me the score. What was
2-1.
the scores? It was the same score in both games. What was the scores?
2-1.
2-1 or 1-0. As a single goal. 2-1, 2-1.
Charlie says 2-1.
2-1.
Craig, what do you say?
2-1.
2-1. Ivan, what do you say the score was?
I think it's 2-1.
Okay. For another bonus point, what was the score in the because the FA Cup was obviously played? There was a replay. What was the score in the first final? Because
1-0.
they didn't have penalties back.
1-0.
In the first FA Cup final, when they played to a draw, obviously. Charlie?
Oh.
It was one apiece. I think it was 1-1. I think it was 1-1.
Okay.
1-1,
Craig
yeah.
gets the point. I think Craig takes it, Warren, because it was Sheffield.
Craig takes it, yeah. It's 2 for
Yeah.
5 points then.
Craig Stanley is looking into his
The name
last
3-2.
and
No,
this
he's
is
playing
the
a
result.
TV game. No, Morgan, he's playing a TV game at the moment. The Xbox
No,
TV
this
game.
is the game. He foresees this to be the result in a few seasons.
Yeah. Once we
Okay.
smuggle our way into that, yeah.
Into the Super League. Okay. Warren, can you get predictions? Because now we've got to go into.
We're playing Everton on Friday night, eh?
Yeah, just for the record, we're playing them on Friday. We're still in line. We still have a chance. If we win every of our last 6 games, every one of our last 6 games, we still have a chance to finish, to get 26 points out of the last 33 that was available, the last 11 games. So we're still in with a chance.
Predictions. Who's going to go first? Are we going to do it?
Yeah, these are the
Ivan
games
first?
coming up next week. Let me just quickly get my little spreadsheet up here. Oh, crikey. Everything is going to the wrong screen.
Morgan, do you want to do predictions for the Everton game now?
Let's do for the Everton game, yeah?
Okay, who wants to go first? Who's brave enough?
I'll go first.
Charlie.
3-2. 3-2 to the Arsenal.
3-2 to the Gunners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next. Gareth.
Yeah, I'll go 2-1 Arsenal, eh?
Okay, Ivan.
Right, I've got to be different, so I'll go 3-1 to Arsenal.
3-1.
See, there's still,
Arsenal.
for a club they hate, there's still a lot of optimism, eh?
We still love them. Okay, for Morgan, for the record, what do you say? Just for the shits and giggles.
Everton. I'm gonna take a leaf out of Alex Marsh's book
Oh my word, here we go.
and give us a 2-0. And give us
2-0.
a 2-0 win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arsenal or
Warren,
Everton?
Your prediction?
Clean sheet.
Warren, your prediction?
Clean sheet.
I'm going for a fantastic and exciting 0-0 draw.
Okay, there we go. You've never been
That's
right
impossible
with the
because Arsenal can't keep a clean sheet.
Okay. Warren, should our next prediction be for the Real game, or should it be for the game after that where we play Newcastle?
When is the next show on over the weekend or after the?
Yeah, no. In fact, they play Newcastle. We've got Everton obviously next Friday. Then the following Thursday is the first leg. Well, the games have been postponed indefinitely while
my
you wait for
goodness.
fight with the Super Leaguers. That's what I last read. So I don't know
When
if
were
it's
we
gonna
supposed to play Villarreal? Sorry, when were we supposed to play Villarreal? The date?
on the
can't
28th,
remember.
on Thursday, the 28th of April.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's okay.
Then we play Newcastle the Sunday, the 1st of May.
After
or
the Thursday. Do you want to do the Villarreal prediction now, or what do you
The
think?
1st of May is a Saturday.
Evening.
First May is a Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, so
or that seems to be the timing. Yeah, no, it can't be the Saturday. Are you sure?
So yes,
Yeah,
the
it
first of
is.
May is a Saturday, and then we got the Villarreal game on the 29th of April, the Thursday. So
To the
Everton
29th.
Friday,
My apologies.
and then
My
the
apologies.
the 29th, yeah, the Thursday. So are we gonna be brave enough to go with that prediction, or do you want to do it after the Everton game, Morgan?
We sometimes give people 2 chances. So if they come up with a prediction
Oh,
now
okay.
for the Villarreal game, just to get a little fun mind games.
Okay.
to
Yeah,
see-
let's go for it. Let's go for it. Who's gonna go first, Villarreal, Charlie, or Gareth?
First, I
Playing
should say,
away.
We're playing away first, yeah. First leg is away. Yeah.
Yes, we are playing away. If we played all.
If we
The
play
question that Wolfie wants to know, there's a question before you give your answers. Wolfie wants to know how long is Laka out for, because obviously that will determine a
Well,
lot.
nothing is. It's not been confirmed. There isn't a
Yeah,
definite
nothing.
time on it, but the manager did say it doesn't look good And so that already you're really kind of hinting at 2 weeks ish. I mean, just on
At
average.
least
I mean,
2 weeks.
yeah,
You
I
say
mean,
see,
hamstrings are
tomorrow.
See,
hamstrings are quite
even if they're
serious.
Tomorrow.
Even if they're super athletes, their flesh is still normal flesh and bone. Muscles still pull, joints get knocked out of sockets.
How
it's
many?
still-
Sorry, how many times did Granite Xhaka roll on the grass, Mr. Was it 14 or 27? That's the next quiz question, eh?
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's our new
do a
Ashley
count.
Cole.
Jeepers. Okay, Villarreal away. With possibly
Away.
Lacazette up.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't know. I'd go
Gareth-
for 0-0.
Okay.
No,
Sorry?
Oh, me
First
too.
leg.
Me too.
Charlie's going for a 0-0.
0-0, but okay.
Let me just
Okay,
do it
that's
this way so I can see. Charlie goes 0-0. Who are we gonna ask for next? Who are we gonna ask next?
Good evening. Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening and good night.
Ivan, your prediction?
Let me be adventurous and say it's going to be a 1-1 draw. At least we can
1-1
get an away
draw.
goal. Eh?
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, 0-0's not going to suit us, eh? Yeah.
Get it?
Exactly.
I'm going 0 as goalless as well.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is the confidence fading away? Morgan, what are you saying?
You know what?
Villarreal.
I'm gonna go for a very bold 2-2 draw.
2-2. Wow.
I like the idea of 2 away goals. I'm not sure
Yeah.
we're good enough to beat Villarreal in Spain. So 2-2 draw. Warren, your thoughts for that game? We've got 4 draws so far. We've got 4 draws so far.
Let's go 3-1 Villarreal.
Ooh, hey,
That's
nah.
not knocks us out. Huh?
3-1
Is this the
Villarreal. Sorry,
revenge of Unai Emery?
the revenge of good evening. It'll be a bad evening.
I just want to say here that Warren's better half, because she knows better, has said that we'll win the first leg 2-1.
Okay.
You know.
And then Ian Miller is the Ian Miller that I know and love. Also predicts that
Jesus.
we lose the first. The day Ian suggests that we're gonna win a game, we know things are gonna go wrong.
Guys, just a quick question on that game for the Villarreal game. If it obviously does happen, if we don't have Lacazette and Aubameyang, who do you play in centre forward fast in that away game?
Not Eddie Nketiah, certainly.
Is he not the only option that's left at
Who
this
would you
stage?
go for? Who do you
those
choose?
of you that- Who?
Mosquito.
Sorry? What? I didn't hear you then. Sorry.
Martinelli.
Martinelli.
up front.
Charlie, who do you go
with
for?
him through the middle.
Yeah, I'd also push Martinelli up front there. I don't think Martinelli does on the flank what Arteta wants him to do. He wants him to stay out wide and he likes to cut in. So I'll let the guy play through the middle. And also, what's the guy that signed the contract now?
Balogun.
The young
Yeah,
man,
man. I'm like,
Balogun.
get the guy in, eh? Give him a chance. I'd even risk him. Because
can-
I think
Then
when the first leg-
he needs a game before. You
Possibly,
need to start against Everton then.
Ivan, who do you go for as our centre forward if it does come down to that? The first leg.
Yeah. I think Martinelli will get the nod, but I would have liked to have seen Balogun actually play.
Yeah. I've seen like 2 seconds of him, and I think in the Europa League, that's about it. I mean, I don't watch guys in training and stuff like that because, you don't get the true feeling there. But yeah, it's all up for grabs.
I want to just ask a quick question at this stage.
Smith,
When we play Xhaka at left at wing back, which he
my
isn't
goodness.
doing, do we see then what the consequences are that we lose all that because Martinelli essentially then had to play.
What are we doing with the squad? Because Xhaka left. What I mean, can someone explain that? Maybe I'm missing something. Sorry.
I don't know. That's where I thought he got the lineup wrong, because it would have been better to see Xhaka in place of El Neni, and you could have thrown Cedric Suarez onto left back, because then at least you have a bit of an attacking option coming down the left. Because with Granit Xhaka there, what do you play with is essentially 3 centre backs and no no attacking support for whoever plays down the left up front.
Martinelli was basically playing as the
Yeah, he was
wing.
here alone. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, Xhaka basically just tucks in as a third centre back.
I mean, would you trust
Yeah.
that guy in the Villarreal game, Granit Xhaka?
What?
If,
Yeah, I would
yeah,
no,
as a
no, not
defender.
as a left
As a
back.
defender, is he
I'd rather
reliable?
play Suarez.
so would you play in left back then?
Cedric Suarez. I play
Right
him.
back?
I play him right back. I play Chambers. And I'll
Okay,
play
fair enough.
Xhaka next to Partey up front. And yeah, by the way, in the second leg at home, I think we'll win and go through to the final if we still win. I'm still on
Oh,
We are going
Hey,
to
I'm still
qualify.
angry. I'm still angry about the Super League. I won't wear my colours.
oh
We
my
are going to
goodness.
qualify for the Champions League next season. Is that what you're saying? And then not be
Yes,
allowed to
absolutely.
play as our name is erased from the annals of the UEFA.
Finals of history. Wouldn't that be such an Arsenal thing, though? Eh? Wouldn't that be such an Arsenal thing? After 4 years, we get back in and they kick us out.
I just want to
Well,
take just as a last thing. I just want to take a sort of get the sense of what the room is saying. Where do you think we'll finish the season? What
Ooh.
position?
Oh, big question, Morgan. Big
This
one.
changes every show. I know.
Ninth.
Yeah.
Ninth.
Also
Where we
think-
are now.
Yeah, I agree.
You
I
don't
agree.
see us overtaking Everton or Spurs or maybe Leeds and Villa overtaking us.
No.
Look, I
If we
think they're
make
going to
the
put
top
the eggs
10,
in
we'll
the
be
Europe.
lucky.
Yeah, and I think they're going to put the eggs in that Europa League semi-final.
Okay,
And-
a couple
and
of
hope-
Fabian is optimistic that we're going to finish 8th. Go on.
Optimistic.
We
It's a ninth.
optimistic for that.
Hey, come on.
Yay
Wait,
for the
we-
Super League. Yay for the Super League.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one prediction.
our backup
Oh, my
plan
goodness.
is a Super League, right? So either we're going to qualify through the Europa League winning it, or our backup plan is this Europa Super League.
Oh man. Anyway, I think that's it for the night. Next show we will announce who won the Vida, the 100 Rand Vida coffee voucher. We may even let you know before then, and then we have a little handover. I like the idea of handovers because it gets me out of the house. Warren, anything else to say at this stage before I do the farewells? And because we have a long break now, we're not playing on Thursday.
Yeah, well, we got
next
a nice
Thursday.
Friday night. Well, we never know. We got a nice Friday night evening game. So I mean, everything will be a interesting game to say the least. I mean, and if we are gonna dream about the loftier aspirations, we need to start beating those type of teams. So yeah, let's see what the world turns out between now and then. You know, the news are going to be coming thick and fast. Stay tuned to your phones. And, I didn't actually mention this at the beginning of the club, but I actually have I'll send the comms out on our page. And I'm not even joking about this. I've got a meeting with the club on Thursday with Arsenal.
With the
All the
supporters club.
support,
Over the
all the supporters clubs. Yeah, we've got a guest, a person making an appearance. Per Mertesacker, can you believe it? He'll be in the meeting.
So,
He's
So
gonna appear
if,
on our show after that.
then I'll get him onto our show as well. So if there is any questions you want to ask,
Stream that.
if you guys had any questions or something, you can just comment on the page when I send it out, and then I can take it forward to the club. Please try not to ask me about what's happening with the Super League and. There's only so
Can you just ask him when? Can you just ask him when Kroenke is leaving? Just ask him when Kroenke is leaving.
I
I'm
do
sure-
want to, Warren. I have to do this. I have to do this.
Yes.
I have to share a few more thoughts.
Videos. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So just look out for the
quickly-
post, guys. Eh?
Yeah.
Guys,
Okay. Yeah.
within a day, we went from a
Okay, guys. I'm going to say good night. Thank you all very much. We're still going to stay live. Thank you all very much for appearing on the show. Thank you for making yourselves available. We're going to play ourselves out with these two little videos. Comments on the Super League. We'll be back next When are we having our next show? We have to discuss that.
On Friday. Yeah?
Yeah, so we have to discuss when the next show will be. But anyway,
Okay. Cool.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ali, for your
Morgan.
kind words, for the support, for the guys who've been out there. Yeah. So here's a few
Thanks,
thoughts.
Morgan. Thanks, guys.
Final word.
Cheers,
Thanks,
guys,
guys.
man.
Of
Thank you.
being full of culture, full of
Cheers,
heritage,
guys.
full of family, full of tradition, to a club that is actually disgusting. It's actually just wearing the colours makes me feel sick today. I've never felt that way ever about this club. I love this club. It's a family club. We are 3 generations of Arsenal supporters. We've got it inked in our bodies. I cannot express the emotion, the absolute disgust in the management team, the ownership structure, and everybody who has taken part of this. Where has our culture go? Where have we gone?
To talk about Arsenal joining the European Super League. Disgusted, disappointed, sad. It's like someone's ripped a piece of my heart out. And that will ring true with most Arsenal supporters, I hope. If this is the case, I don't think I'll ever set foot in the stadium again. Happy to burn my season ticket. It's disgusting.